my hunger will never get satisfied. If I say Miranda, but at the same time, I need to drink the Miranda to reduce my thirsty, or I need to drink the water to reduce the thirstiness, correct? But at the same time, if we say Krishna, it is equal to having darshan of Krishna. That is the reason Krishna is called as supreme absolute truth. There is no difference between his form, his paraphernalia, his name, his leelas pastime. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namna Mahari Bhagavan. So you invested your whole energy into your name, like you given so many varieties. But I am very ignorant. I am very unfortunate. I am going behind these material things and forgetting about you. How unfortunate I am. So that is the thing. Like we need to realize, Krishna is so merciful to invest his energy into the holy name. So that is the reason, like in this Kali Yuga, what is the way to reach Lord? It is to chant the holy name of the Lord. By doing that simple process, we will be able to go back to the Godhead. So that is the greatest benefit, like he's giving to all of us. But what we are doing, many of us, like okay, we keep tend to forget like things, because this material world is designed in that manner. This material world is like a dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is the alayam of the house of miseries, and everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. So we need to keep reminding in our association. We need to chant the holy name of the Lord. We need to practice the bhakti. Okay, Prabhu, that is what akarma. Then vikarma is like a completely forbidden action, where you completely doing the activity which will ensure that okay, you go to the hell or lower planetary system, or like a lower species of the life. Okay, Prabhu, your question is clarified.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So then Krishna is saying like a karma kanda, do the karma kanda. Then he is saying like a nishkama karma yoga, do the nishkama karma yoga. Then he comes to the point of like, okay, the sthita prajna, how the sthita prajna who will lead his life like a both in misery or happiness mood. So they will treat everything like a heat or cold, um, everything. They will keep it as like a same situation. So I think last week we completed the third chapter, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, bro. Okay. So then we talk about okay, the Siddha Prajna, how he will walk, how he will act, all those things like have been explained by the Lord. Then what is the acronym of the first chapter? You want to remember? I will send that acronym chapter, this one slide also. The first chapter acronym is like a doubt. D represents Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. O represents ominous result, and U represents uncertainty. Um, then B represents bewilderment, and T represents Tyaga. Then the second chapter of acronym, anyone can remember?
Gita.
Gita, very good. Yeah. G represents Guru, and I represents identity. T represents what, Prabhu? T? Again, Tyaga only will come.
Two duties.
Yeah, two duties, correct. Yeah. It is Karma Kanda and the Buddhi Yoga, which is Niskama Karma Yoga. and A represents Atmarama, like it's a Sitaprajna, self-satisfied soul. Okay, so then because in the two duties he is saying like a karma kanda and buddhi yoga both do it. Okay, then the chapter 3 represents a tree, which is T represents tyaga, because Arjuna was confused whether why you are engaging me in this ghastly warfare when you are saying like intelligence is better than the fruitive work, correct? Then Arjuna understood it is the renunciation of the work. Okay, it is not renunciation of the work, but it is renunciation in the work. Okay, that is what Krishna says. Then the rungs of the low yoga ladder that he's um, explaining. Okay, um, that is where we saw like a how the yoga ladder, which is nothing but uh, the animal life, then karma kanda, then karma yoga, then dhyana yoga, sorry, nishkama karma yoga, then dhyana yoga, then bhakti yoga. Okay, that is how we seen the yoga ladder. Then the exemplary actions. Exemplary action. Anyone can say what is that exemplary action? So Krishna says, okay, there is no duty associated to me, but still I do the duty because I want to set the example for future generation. Likewise, like a king Janaka Maharaj and many other Mahajans like do the activity also, correct? For the benefit of the future generation. Because if Krishna didn't do activity, then the future generation will say Krishna himself didn't do the activity. Why I need to do? That is the reason Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, accepted the Guru as a Sandipani Muni when he went to the Gurukul. How fortunate, how glorious that is! Like, okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is accepting the Guru while he takes the appearance in this particular world. Okay, to set the example for future generation. He gone through each and every aspect of the education. Correct. Then the enemy of the soul, like okay, then um, um, he's asking, like okay, Arjuna is asking again, uh, why we are they know all those things. Okay, anyone knows all those things, but why they are engaging in this bad activity? Like then Arjuna says it is lust only, Arjuna. Okay, and that lust is keeping us into many of this problematic thing. Okay, that is what Krishna says. I am third chapter we completed, correct, Prabhu? Like
Yes,
this
Prabhu, we started fourth.
oh, you start we started fourth also. I'm little
Yes.
confused. Okay, so that is the thing. Like he's concluding, it is a lust only, Arjuna. Like okay, because of that lust, we are getting engaged. Like so, we need to remove that lust. Okay, that is what he says. Then let's go into the fourth chapter. Before that. So, in the third chapter, like lust covers the knowledge, ignorance binds us to this material world. That is what he says. Like, but when we do karma yoga, when we do the highest level of karma yoga, like surrender all the work to Lord Krishna with full knowledge of Krishna, without desires for profit, no claim for proprietorship, and free from lethargy. Okay, this loka we saw, correct? My sarvani karmani sanyas adhyatma chetasya Nirasir Nirmamo Bhutva Yuddhayasa Vigadajvara. Okay, so this is what we should do all the work like with surrendering to Lord Krishna. Okay, that is what we have seen. Then yeah, because last week we covered the glories of Jagannath Rath Yatra, correct? That is the reason I could not able to. lesson what we covered. Including also. So I doubt if we covered, we didn't complete the third chapter, I believe, because I don't feel we covered this one. Because we covered till the 10 to 11 only. The first section of the Karma Kanda only we saw, Prabhu. I don't think we covered the second section. The third chapter only we are there.
So, Prabhu, we started the fourth chapter, like 3-4 sloka only we did. Akarma.
2-3 sloka only.
No, Prabhu, it is third chapter only. We are still in third chapter only. Sure, you're sure? Why I'm saying is last week.
Prabhu,
Last time we went.
Prabhu.
Huh?
Prabhuji, last we done 3.16 shloka.
Yeah, correct.
Till
3.16 only, correct.
3.16.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't, because the third chapter we didn't complete. Because I could not able to understand this. My Sarvani Karmani I didn't cover for this group, because I'm doing like one another group also. So that is what. Yeah, we covered till this one only. First, we covered the dealing with the confusion, renunciation, or working in Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga, like how we can elevate ourselves from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. That is what we covered till now. Then we will cover like a Nishkama Karma Yoga, acting dutifully with a detachment to set the correct example. Because that also we have not covered, how Krishna doing all this activity, King Janaka doing all this activity, like to set the example for the future generation, which we will see here today. Okay, 3.17. Okay, 1 second. Let's cover 3.16 very quickly. Yeah. So this was, we have seen evam param pravrattim chakram nanu varta diha yah ahyakur indriyaramu moham partha ja jivati. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human cycle of sacrifice, because we all know, like, okay, what is why Lord created this material world, why he created the demigod, why he created the common man, okay, why he created the sacrifice. That is what we have seen. So Lord created demigod, like Lord created the Vedas, Lord created the men to do the sacrifice, okay, and surrender to demigod, offer to demigod, then demigod will offer to Krishna. Likewise, like they will be satisfied, then they will give the rain. Via that rain we will get the grain, okay, the pulses and other things, and by using that, like we have to again offer the things to Lord. Okay, this is the cycle of sacrifice. Okay, if someone does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas, certainly lead a life full of sin. Okay, they will, if someone not offering to Lord, then they are leading the life full of sin, living only for the satisfaction of the senses. Okay, if we live only for our own senses, then such a person lives in vain. Okay, his life is useless. This is what we have seen till last week. Oh, okay, 3.17. Yastva atmaratirev syat आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मनि एव च सन्तुष्टस्तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते. Karya means activity, correct? Atma means soul. Okay, Ratir means our attraction, our Atma Ratir. Okay, Atma Ratir means like a taking the pleasure on the self. Okay, Rati means attraction. Okay, um, uh, what it is saying, but for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. For example, some of the great acharyas or some of the great expert, okay, what they will do is they don't think, okay, they are acting. Example, you take a Srila Prabhupada or many of his disciples, like a many Guru Maharaj, who is traveling now and doing the preaching. They don't do the activity as like, okay, activity, because they are doing it as, okay, they are doing the activity for Krishna and for their spiritual master. That is the reason. That is the reason. Like that is how Srila Prabhupada is able to translate the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the very, very late night or like early morning. He sleeps only for 2 hours to 4 hours. Then from morning 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, he will do the recording. He will translate the Sanskrit to the English, the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, because they are doing the activity for as a satisfaction of the self-realization. They are not doing the activity as activity. For example, uh, we will take this example. Tomorrow there's an exam for all of us. Okay, so we have to put our effort to study, okay, 10 sloka and 10 translation. Obviously, we have to take out the sloka, we have to study, we have to remember, we have to revise. Then we have to appear the exam for tomorrow. That is the activity, correct? That is activity, we have to do it. At the same time, if we are all very, very captivated by any movie or like, okay, any cricket match or any sport which you like, okay, while we spend 3 hours watching that movie or watching that sport, we don't think, okay, we are doing some activity. We are submerged in ourselves to do that particular thing, correct? Because we are very, very attached to that activity. That is how all the self-realized soul will do not the material activities, but the spiritual activities, not as activity, but as a service to Krishna, service to the society, service to the spiritual master. Hope all are able to understand this one. That is what he is saying. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, who is a self-realized soul, whom we seen as a Sita Prajna in the second chapter, whose human life is only for self-realization. They are living, they are dedicating their life for self-realization. Srila Prabhupada didn't sit in Vrindavan to do the devotion service. He spent time, he spent his time like to preach to others, to the Westerners. He went at the age of 70 to the US without knowing anything what is going to happen, what he is going to get in the US, like for eating, for staying, nothing he knows. With only like around 60 rupees or 40 rupees, he traveled to US. Okay, because he dedicated his life only for the self-realization and as a service to Krishna and as a service to their spiritual master. And who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. For him there is no duty means like he consider, he do the duty as a regular thing. Okay, we don't do the brushing of our teeth or like a bathing our body as a duty. It is like, okay, daily routine kind of stuff. That is how they will do all this activity. Okay, the next sloka. Naiva tasya kritenartho nakrat neha kashana nachasya sarvabhuteshu kaschid artha vyapasrayaha. So in this sloka, kaschit means any. Kaschit, we will see many, many places. Kaschit means any. Artha means like a purpose. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of the prescribed duty, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Okay. The reason, if you see, the self-realized soul, okay, they don't have any purpose to perform the prescribed duty, or they don't have any reason not to perform the duty also, and they don't be dependent on any of the other living beings, because they are Atma Rama, Atma Krita, okay, they are Sthita Prajna, they are self-satisfied. They don't need, they seek happiness. Happiness means like they treat all the situations same. That is the reason all the Maharajas, like many Maharajas, they don't sit in a same place for if they come as a guest to any particular satsang or any particular location or any particular house, they don't stay there not more than like a 2 or 3 days. Because what happens is after you become getting the greatest facility in a house, then your mind will get contaminated. Okay, tomorrow why I need to go to the place where I don't get food, I don't have like a proper stay. I can stay here for 1 more month. Then their mind is getting polluted. That is the reason they don't stay. Like the sannyasis or all the brahmacharis, no? Like they don't stay more than uh, certain period of time, like in a particular location or particular house. They understand what is their purpose to preach. For preaching, like they need to study. They need to get association with of like so many other people so that they can preach. So likewise, like they always will be on the moving stage. But sometimes what we think, oh, that Maharaja is like a very great. He always travel. He is not traveling for his own sense pleasure. He is traveling to preach to the devotee. Because when the devotee get the knowledge, get to meet a self-realized person, his contamination will be removed, and his life will be uh, progressing towards the spiritual path. Everyone able to understand what Krishna says in this particular sloka, because it is very, very deep in concept, deep in philosophy. Okay, I take silence as everyone understood. Okay, the next sloka. Yeah. Tasmat asaktaha satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Purushaha means who is Purusha? There is only one Purusha in the entire universe. Okay, that is Lord Shri Krishna. There is no other Purusha. Okay, in the common tendency, we may call okay him as a Purusha and the wife as like okay the one supporting Purusha, but the real Purusha is only Krishna. Yes, he's the only one who can enjoy. Okay, then Tasmat, this Tasmat also repeats many times. Tasmat means therefore. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Okay, so likewise it. So Tasmat means therefore. Okay, so Satatam means constantly, continuously. That is what Satatam means. Okay, we have to do all these things like okay, Satatam. So that we also will be repeating. Okay. Uh, then what is this loka means? Therefore, without being attached to the fruit of the activities, one should act as a matter of duty. For by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So Krishna says, okay, we should do our activity without the attachment to the fruits of our activity, as we have to surrender that results to Krishna. By acting in that manner without attachment, one attains the supreme. So who says, like Krishna himself says that particular thing. Okay. Then the next shloka. Karma naiva hi samsiddhim astita janakatayah loha sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Kings such as Janaka. Who is Janaka?
Father of
Sita
Sita.
Maharani, father.
Father of Sita Maya. Very good. Okay. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duty, because King Janaka was ruling the kingdom very, very effectively. Okay. They do their activity as a prescribed duty, as a duty. Okay. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, okay, you should perform your work. Okay. So you have to perform the work as a matter of duty, as to, just to educate like the future generation. Okay, you don't need to consider that as a work, but the service to Krishna. So that is what Krishna is saying here. Okay, then all these things, why Krishna is asking to Arjuna? What is the purpose? Let us understand the purpose also. Why Krishna is informing all these things to Arjuna?
For us.
So that
For us, very
Arjun
good.
can do his duty.
Very good. It is not only for Arjuna, it is for every one of us. It is to influence Arjuna to fight, because Arjuna said, I am not going to fight, correct? Arjuna said, okay, I am okay to go and beg, but I will not fight. But Krishna is saying, no, no, you have to fight. Please get up and fight. Okay, he is influencing Arjuna to fight. He's not only influencing Arjuna to fight, he is influencing every one of us to do the spiritual task, okay, to do our work in the detached manner. To do the work in the detached manner means like we have to surrender the results to the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is what Krishna is informing to Arjuna. Okay, so this very, very important sloka, 3.21. Yad yad acharati srestas taddat evataro janaha sayat pramanam kurute logastadanuvartade. Anuvartade means like someone will follow in our footsteps. Okay, yad yad acharati srestas. Okay, so Sreshta means like the respectful leader. So whatever action a great man performs, a great leader performs, common man also will follow. Whatever standards he set by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Okay. So in house also, if you see many a times, if we see the mobile and when talking to anyone, and we say to our kids, okay, please don't see the mobile, then they will say, no, you yourself are not following the rules, then why I need to follow? Correct? So that is what, like, okay, Krishna also saying here, the great leader follows the activity properly so that he sets the example for the future generation and for the common people. And he can say that, okay, please follow these rules and regulation. If the king himself doesn't follow the rules and regulation, then no man will follow the rules and regulation. So that is the reason, like all these great kings, the Mahajans, okay, King Janaka is one of the Mahajan also, correct? So they follow the rules and regulation properly so that to set the example for others. So that is the reason all these kings are called as like a Raja Rishi. Very important. Raja means king. Rishi means one who controls the sense. Why a king has to be called as a Raja Rishi? Because king has to follow the rules and regulation, and he has to set the example by controlling his senses. He should not rule the kingdom for his personal sense gratification. He has to rule the kingdom for benefit of the common people. That is the reason he been called as a rishi, because only rishi can dedicate their life to others. Okay, that is the main reason all these kings are being called as a Raja Rishi. Okay, so they are called as kings and they are called as Raja Rishi because they are dedicating their life for others. They are not ruling the kingdom for personal sense gratification. Everyone could able to understand what is the meaning of Raja Rishi? Raja Rishi means the king, and he is a rishi because he is controlling his senses for the benefit of others. He is not enjoying for personal sense gratification. Okay. So whatever action a great man performs, common man follow, and whatever standard he set by exemplary acts, like all the world pursues. The next sloka. न मे पातास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I need to obtain anything. And yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Who is saying this?
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Supreme Lord Krishna, he is saying, I don't have any, there is no work prescribed for me. I don't have any prescribed duties. And I don't want to do anything also, like nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything. I don't want like to obtain anything also, but I'm doing all these things like, okay, as a matter of duty and to set the example for future generation. Okay, that is what Krishna says in this particular sloka. Okay, let us dive into this one, purport 70. So this cycle of sacrifice we have seen last week. So 17 to 25, it is better if one performs his duty without fruitive desires or attachment, asking Janaka and us does like Krishna. One should act in this manner, like to set the correct example for others. So in the 17 to 18, what he says, okay, characteristics of the self-realized person acting as a matter of duty. Self-realized person like engages in Krishna consciousness activity is fully satisfied because he don't have any duties. Okay, he is satisfied by the act of Krishna consciousness. Okay, by acting Krishna consciousness, two things will happen. While surrendering the results to Lord, the reactions will not occur, and he will not take again birth and death like in this material world. Correct. No need to perform any other yajna because by performing the Sankirtana yajna, his all the sins will be like removed. Okay, it will free from all the sins. Like duties has to be performed as directed by the Lord. No need to follow Vedic injunction. That means, okay, if you follow Krishna consciousness, you don't need to specifically follow the Vedas, because Vedas teaching what Krishna consciousness been teaching us. Okay, then by doing that, like he will not be interested in material activities. Okay, then he has no reason not to perform the duty. He will perform the duty all the time. Okay, he does not depend on any other living entities also, because he is Atmaram. Atmaram means like he is self-satisfied. He would be happy in his own activities, like without he need of like anything from any others. Okay. He will do the activity as a matter of duty and without detachment. Okay, without attachment or fruits of work, like he attains the supreme. So if someone is acting as a matter of duty without being attached to anything, like okay, then they will attain the supreme. Okay, only devotees can do this, or like a liberation. If someone want like a liberation, they also can do, but like a devotees without expecting anything, like they will do this thing. Okay, it has to be done under the proper guidance and acting as a matter of duty. It is not like okay, I am doing my Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma separate. No, in Krishna consciousness, the Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma is same, because we are doing everything by remembering Lord. While we are remembering Lord, everything becomes the Sanatana Dharma. Okay. Um, so then by doing that, like they don't need to perform any other rituals as mentioned in the Vedas, because everything we are doing and we are surrendering to Lord. Okay. So if someone acting on behalf of Krishna, then no attachment to the result, then engages all kind of activities but completely unattached, they are doing akarma, which is no reaction to good or evil work. Prabhu, your question is answered here. See, in akarma, you will not get good reaction and you will not get like even bad reaction also. So it is Suddha Sattva, like it is apart from the reaction, or apart from the what to say, like okay, the yeah, they will do it for Krishna, like so there is no reaction at all. Okay. Then in the next sloka, King, for example, King Janaka, okay, he's a self-realized soul, and he has no duties to perform, because he is doing all these things as a matter of duty. Okay. Um, Even Lord Krishna also, he don't need to struggle that much, like okay, in terms of coming as a chariot driver for Pandavas, correct? He can enjoy nicely, like with all the gopis of Vrindavan and all the gopas, like okay, he could have played, but he exhibited the renunciation quality by just coming out from this his comfortable position to become a chariot driver, because we all know like how Arjuna was giving the directions to Lord Shri Krishna, because he will press from his leg, okay, to Krishna's back. If he wants to move to left side, he will press the left side of Krishna's back. If he wants to move to the right side, he will press the Krishna's right back. Okay, so that much struggle, like okay, Krishna gone through as a matter of duty to protect his devotee. Okay, to exhibit the renunciation quality. So acting without any interest in the world, okay, still wants to teach all these great acharyas, great maharajas, like they are going around the world like to preach as a matter of duty. Okay, so that by doing in that manner, like the future generation also will follow. So that is what being mentioned here. Responsibilities, like they will, the King Raja Rishi also we have seen, okay, they will do as a matter of duty for the future generation. How self-realized soul work? Okay, they work. Why self-realized soul work? Okay, because they will do all the activity with detachment, okay, as a matter of duty and to please Krishna. This is how they work. They do their work as a matter of duty to Krishna, to please Krishna, and they will work in the detached manner. Okay, by doing that, they will attain the supreme. Okay, and they will set the example for the future generation. Okay, so here Lord Krishna also performs the prescribed duty, although he has like a no material desire. Why Krishna performed the prescribed duty? Because um, to set the example for the future generation, okay, future this one. Then Krishna don't want anything, but like still he does, so that other peoples will follow him. Okay. Any doubts till now?
No problem.
Crystal clear for everyone. Please, now we have to revise. Please, I request every one of you to revise so that all these topics will stay with us forever. Please revise and hear the recordings again and go through the slides again to keep yourself fully updated. If someone asking, okay, what is Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 and 2 and 3 is teaching, then you have to be in a position to preach to others. That is the purpose of attending this class. First, we have to accept the knowledge, we have to implement ourselves, and we have to preach to others also. Okay, that is the whole purpose. Hare Krishna. Yes, we want more soldiers in Srila Prabhupada's army to preach to others. Any questions? If no further questions, we are good to close. Thanks all for joining. Let me stop the recording.